YouTubians, this is Penguin Pete for NoGamer.com and GeekyDomain.com, and we're going through Dicey Dungeons, a character guide to each of the characters. And today we're going to talk about the most irritating character, which is the Inventor. And he's irritating because his playstyle is Foursquare for Chaos. I'll show you what you mean as we go along here. Now, he's not that hard, although, boy, this roll is really terrible. You really hate snake eyes with an Inventor here. Wow, that's the best I can do, too. Okay. So we're doing these character guides because people struggle a lot with too much luck and RNG-based gaming, and they would really prefer to have more control over the outcome. And while this game does have a large luck factor, I'm showing you it's still possible to beat the game and defy the odds. And of course you already do that, but it really helps sometimes to see how it's done. So I got a free gadget here. I'm just doing a heat ray, which burns his dice and sets them all on fire every turn. Deals 2 damage to him every time. I'm going to finish him off. I'll explain things as I go along, but I'm assuming that you guys already know how to play the game and you're just looking for something. Now, here's what the Inventor does. At the end of every fight, whether you like it or not, we're going to cannibalize one piece of our equipment and turn it into a gadget. So I'm going to have the next gadget coming up. So there's that. Now I'm missing that equipment from my backpack. And the problem with the Inventor is you are starving for weapons all the time. So whatever you do, try to avoid spending a weapon if you possibly can. Okay, now one of those went in my backpack because I don't have enough room. The hammer's good. Try not to let go of it. The crossbow's terrible. That's better after you upgrade it. The sword's decent too. At least I have 2 things that take any die. Actually, I have 3 things that take any die. But I'm probably going to ignore that third one and cannibalize that one next. You'll see the strategy as we go along. Alright. We're going to focus here and get double 6s so that we can do 6 and inflict 1 shock damage. Do 6 with the sword, and he is gone. Alright. The crossbow is the one we're not using, so we're going to cannibalize that. Now, here's an important thing. In the equipment screen, you toggle the gadget preview. This is a special thing that only Inventor has. And you got this thing up in the upper right corner, and then you can see what kind of gadget will be created from the next gizmo that you have. And that's important because it's not always intuitive what's going to turn into what. Sometimes you'll have weapons that turn into dice manipulation mechanics and whatnot. With the Inventor, you want to hit every single chest. If at all possible, we want to try to aim for this. Now, you'll notice also the Inventor only gets his choice of 3 pieces of equipment to turn into scrap. So if you have 5 or 6 pieces of equipment, there's no guarantee on which ones you're going to turn into something else next time. So I'm going to remove this and just have 2 weapons and that. And try to get through the next fight with just 2 weapons to limit the choice to make sure that it gives me what I want. I can pick this guy next. But the rule of the Inventor is just guard your weapons at all costs. This is really, wow, this is a terrible roll right here. Alright, well, I'll take, I'll weaken 1 equipment there. Weaken is where you just make the equipment worse. It's kind of cripples it a little bit. This is my plasma gun. It's doing 5 damage to him. Now, don't get me wrong, the gadgets are helpful sometimes, but this only takes an even number, so I can't even use that. But really, the whole thing with the Inventor is it's a test of your skill to adapt and your skill to come up with a new strategy as you go along per turn. So we're going to get rid of this one because really, always pay attention. Don't get absent-minded, sacrifice a good piece of equipment. We're going to keep this hammer. If I turn this into a jackhammer, I will just jump right off a cliff. Live on camera. You'll see it first time on YouTube. Another rule of the Inventor, never pass up an opportunity to bump up. I'm going to do an upgrade and upgrade my hammer to take up less space. So that's going to be a hammer plus now. That'll also help, you know, when you see it in the inventory screen, you go, oh, okay, that's got a plus next to it. That means I like that weapon. So we'll hang on to that. Yeah, I don't always limit myself to 3 equipment, but I do when I want to be extra sure. So we will go hit this guy next. The plus side of the Inventor is that when he turns all his equipment into gadgets, the gadgets do help. You don't need dice to operate that, so you can just do that. And this isn't really going to do us much good, but it's there. So, and he's going to use his doubles there to count down all these things. But he's only going to be able to shoot us for 3, so we're chilly. Alright, I'm going to weaken his stuff and focus. I'm going to activate my act limiter. This is another thing. The limit break for the Inventor is only, it makes all the dice become 6. It's really just not that great all the time. There's going to be plenty of situations where you just did not need that. Alright. Mega bump +1 to all dice. That's great. And yes, I will take a weapon, although this is once per battle. So that's not really a great weapon to take. But we'll go for it for now. What's in here? That's not a weapon, so... The rule is cannibalize everything but weapons. This is like a once per battle weapon, so I may make an exception for that. That's just so cruddy. But anyway. Let's see the Dryad here. She's got her slingshot. Don't ask me what a plant-based creature is doing with a slingshot. So, bumping all dice must be a good thing, right? Okay. Alright, on 6 I can inflict 1 shock. I can use an odd number to reduce damage. This doesn't need doubles, but I just happen to have doubles for it. That burned her, set 2 dice on fire, weakened her equipment. That's called a nerf. Or a status effect. This is like regular role-playing games, but with a slightly different interpretation. So the Inventor starts out really strong. The Inventor just completely blows everything away in the first few turns, but it gets progressively more difficult because if you're not very careful with your inventory management. So literally I have like 2 weapons. I have 3 weapons right now, so if I don't find more weapons within like 3 fights, I'm toast. You're just constantly scrabbling. Blowtorch. Okay, I'll take in... Well, I don't have that thing anymore. That's another thing, is you can't build any kind of consistent build with the Inventor because your strategy is constantly changing from one fight to the next. He gets to blind 1 die, and okay, he's going to do 6 damage. Oh, he just wrecked my whole life here. Alright. Blinding means you just can't see what the dice total is. I'm just going to use focus, so now I know that's a 6. And that's a 6. And blowtorch to the face. But the good thing with the Inventor is if you keep hold of those weapons, you can finish fights quickly. That's about the only advantage. And it's really just the kind of thing for people who like to think on their feet. Kind of like a little variety of the game. It does introduce a different kind of strategy from your normal RPG situation. This is 1 gold, so I'm going to buy that. And I'm also going to take an upgrade on my pea shooter because doing 2 damage for 5 die is really lousy. 5 pips for 4 damage is a lot better, so I'm going to upgrade that and just save it for a rainy day. Raid the chest. Yes, thank you, a weapon. Raid the chest. Yes, a lousy weapon. Raid. Okay, this is always offered as scrap for turning into a gadget. So that's one special thing that only he gets. So as long as you have that, Gonna make sure that's over here. Let's just sort through this. Okay, I like these two, and I think I'm going to keep these two on a regular basis and just have lousy weapon there. Alright, got two enemies left here. So the gadgets do give you some bonus effect, and usually, since you're trying not to cannibalize your weapons, you'll be trying as hard as you can to just use everything but weapons. So most of your protective type gear and dice manipulation mechanics are going to turn into gadgets. Alright, 6 damage there. These dice are doing 2 damage to me because they're burning me. But that's 4 damage there. I'll do a down payment on the next shot. Come on, fireman. He sure looks happy, doesn't he? He looks really proud of himself. I'm going to reduce damage by 1. That's like in general armor against all stuff. And hitting focus gives me that, that, and that. Alright, he's got 6 damage to go and he's gone. Wow. Here. So I can do 4. Well, let's just do 4 damage here, and just finish him off with that thing. There we are. All right. Thankfully, I now it's trying to cannibalize my 2 best ones. There are the pluses right there, but we want to go for that. So you see, a weapon turned into roll an extra die. So it's kind of unpredictable what exactly something's going to be turned into. Alright, what's the next thing? I'll sacrifice the sword next. So it is possible to completely control the decision. Roll an extra. And since I love all 6s, let's just keep the focus thing going. That's another thing I'm playing to that specifically. 2 is hero ability. Alright, so I got him down to 10 already. And he's shocked. Shock just means you have to place a die there to release the equipment for use. Okay, he's freezing my dice, which means he's turning them into 1s. So I got an extra die out of that, and he's at 10. So if I do 4 damage there, and 2, 3, 4, 5 for 4 damage there, and then 1 more damage with the sword. So he's down to 1. I hate this. Okay. Thanks, that's... yeah. Okay, he's dead. I hate having him hanging at 1 hit point. You'd be surprised how many fights in this game are lost just by 1 turn. Alright, we will cannibalize the lousy weapon next. Do I have anything here I could buy for 2? No. Alright. I have several things in here I could buy for 2. This is a once per battle weapon. It's really just not going to be that great. I'd probably end up cannibalizing that anyway. As long as I'm doing that, I might as well take a dice manipulation item, and then that can be turned into something that I can activate for free. Next fight. I'm on floor 4 here. As usual, you also have to plan your way through the dungeon, try to take out a guy that's going to lead to your next health bump or your next item, and try to space things out that way so you don't get stranded without resources. Five damage. We want a 6 to inflict shock. Well, this isn't really going to do much for us because we don't care if our dice is split or 2 or not. That's pretty much just all getting used. The artificial intelligence on these things is kind of dumb sometimes, if you noticed. It doesn't always make the most optimal play, but then neither do we humans, right? Okay. I could drop a die in here and then just go. Alright. Borrow equipment. Sure, why not? Of course, I'd be paying attention to that up here. It says right up over the equipment when you hover over it, it displays that. We'll get rid of Boomerang next. I've got 8 stars to go until I level up, so I really needed the health. And let's go see Mr. Frosty. He is weak to fire. Well, good for him. I don't have any fire damage. Oh. Yeah, you don't want to freeze his dice. He uses odd numbers, so he'll just use the one right back at you to freeze your dice, and we'll just go back and forth. 6 damage. I'm going to hit focus. And take a 5, and a 5, and a 5. Just chop them down that way. See, I got reusable equipment here, so I'm guaranteed to use every die every time. So the upgraded pea shooter is actually very good. I don't even want to steal enemies' equipment. Well, this will do 4 damage by itself. I really don't want to use Boomerang because it does damage to us as well. Here, I'll just do a down payment on the next pea shooter charge. Well, we get to focus. So we get all 6s. 6. Yeah, I've got enough without that because I can do right there. 4, oh, no. No, I can't. Nope, I gotta do double. Yep, 12. Alright. So, we will get rid of the Boomerang and say double our next action. Okay, we get a thing. That's terrible, so we'll scrap that. This is decent. That's very decent. We like the rig gun. How many fights do we have? We have a whole floor left to clear. Oh, we're actually in pretty bad trouble. Alright. Here's our chance. Fortunately, this guy doesn't do a lot of damage. So I'm going to say Fury to double next action and do 12 damage and shock 2 equipment at him. That will really rain on his parade. There. So he doesn't do. This is the only thing he has that does damage, and then he can curse enemy. And I think that's blind dice. I can't see it right now. Yeah, it's blind dice. 3 blind dice. See how they walk. I don't know what this is. I'm going to say Fury double next. At least I know that's going to do 8 damage. Whatever that does. Okay, that was a 1. Thanks. Okay, curse means that he's going to blow up one of my pieces of equipment next turn. And I don't know which one. It's just going to randomly blow up when I try to use it. We're going to hit focus so we know darn well what our dice totals are. Fury to double next, and did we waste it? Yes, we did. That was the cursed equipment. 4 damage. Oh, okay. The Fury applied over. That's great. Okay, he's toast. Oh no. 1 hit point left. Okay, there's no way he's going to do 11 damage to me, right? Surely not. But that's 9. Oh, wow. He's at 1 hit point and I'm at 2. Please just take him out. Thank you. Ah, okay, I get a life set retotal. Oh, it was touch and go there for a minute. Okay, you can also copy equipment. So I'm going to make a copy of my hammer and copy that. Or I could go in my backpack and copy one of these things. If I make a copy of this, this is guaranteed to come up for scrap twice. And that means that I'm able to pack better weapons, because I can have a full backpack and still control what's going to show up. I think I'll copy that, since I'm not getting any more of these. Here. Alright. Alright, so if I run around with this and one of these, I'm guaranteed to come in with a barricade, which is what scrap metal becomes, the shield plus 3 barricade. That's actually pretty good to prevent damage. I'm right at the beginning of my level 5 run, so I want to protect my hit points as much as possible. All I gotta do is survive this floor. I got 4 enemies, and then it's the boss. This guy does next to no damage. I'll do 3 to him. 5, 5. Minimum of 3, and that can be reused. This is the only thing he has that does damage. Basically, this guy is one of those enemies that does a lot of messing with you. Weakens your equipment, silences your limit break so you can't use it, shocks this thing, you gotta place 2 dice to break this up. It's just a big hassle. This has been reduced to dealing 1 damage. That needs a 6 to activate now. So I can literally just drop 2 dice there. Activate oh, okay. That also, I didn't realize that would also break the silence of my focus too. But I'm just going to gain 1 shield because that's literally all I can do here. Do 1 damage. Oh, brother. This guy is such a pain in the butt. If I drop 2 dice here, then I can turn on focus and get static shock and get 6 damage against him there. So he's down next turn. Oh, 5 damage. Okay, well I got an actual 6 this time. He's gone. Alright. I will get shield 3. So that's going to help me in my next fight. Equipment. Okay, we will take that. I can always drop that and just take this to make sure, because that's going to be a dice manipulation Genghis. Nah. I'll go for the other strategy. Go for a scrap metal, guaranteed scrap. Okay, shield me. 6 damage, 4 damage, 4 damage. And this takes a minimum of 3, so I'll just gain a shield. Alright, he's going to curse me. That's it. So one of my items is cursed. Is it this one? Ha! Good. I was hoping it'd be that. 4 damage. Minimum of 3 to do 3 damage. 2 directly. So yeah, you really got to manage the Inventor, and then he's pretty decent. But even at that, I've never heard of anybody say, oh yeah, the Inventor, that's my favorite character. The shield's really cutting back on the damage. Okay, that's a minimum of 3. That does 4. That does 4. This can't do 4, but it can do 3 there. Oh, equipment. Okay, funky dice thing. This starts out with a double use, an extra use out of your equipment, but then next turn it turns into stealing equipment. So I don't know if I want to do that for the boss battle, perhaps. This broadsword is horrendous, so let's try this. Be sure to watch the other tutorials too. I do all of the characters for Dicey Dungeons. This is Terry Kavanagh's Dicey Dungeons. It's available on Steam. I've got the link in the description. And this is going to be full character guides, all the characters, including the bear, where I do start out with a thief playthrough and just went for the bear. Now, I don't think there's any tutorials on bear characters in Dicey Dungeons out there. Alright, I'm going to duplicate the 6. Oh wait, I can duplicate them all. I have nothing but 6s. There we are. That's only good for 1 use. Okay, can I take him out with 4 now? Is it worth doing 2 damage to myself to get 8 against him, or can I guarantee getting 12 against him next turn? I'm going to gamble that. Because I have 3 shield protecting me against damage. He's going to... Okay, he didn't get health back for that. He didn't do anything to me this turn. Okay. Alright, I've got him for 6 right there. I can duplicate a die to give me 4 and 1. Aha. There we are. So sometimes it takes a little planning ahead, like any character in Dicey Dungeons. And we're going to duplicate all dice for the rest of our thing. This is the last guy. What's in this cart? You get plenty of gold in this game too. Oh goody. I can get one of those. Can I also buy an apple to restore 10 hit points? Oh, we're good. We've got this. Alright. Scrap metal is guaranteed, so I can use this against this guy. I don't even mind turning the hookshot into something. That steel equipment, that's actually what I would prefer for the next run. Can I beat Mr. Ratty Rat? I'm going to think this over here. I think I want the boss fight where I can steal equipment from the boss. Doesn't that sound better? Let's go for that. Let's see if my plan works. We're going to duplicate dice, since I get to reuse them infinitely. Oh well, we'll just shovel dice in there. He doesn't do much, he just gets the poison. Look at that, he did not even get 1 poison shot off. Oh ho ho. Well, let's get duplicates of all that. There we go. Next equipment has +1 use this turn. I really wish I had a 2, but I did not have a 2. Let's feed that 2s. Okay, well, I guess we gotta do a 4 and a 3 and a 4 and a 3. Okay, we have so got this. He gets a dice back whenever he activates one of these, so. And the shock, as you can see, it doesn't even slow him down. Oh wow, he gets to just poison my brains out. Oh yeah, okay. Even if you have shield, by the way, it's worth noting that shield does not protect you against poison damage. You take that anyway, whether you got a shield or not. Alright, we're going to do that. We're going to steal equipment. Take an extra dice. Alright. What do we want to upgrade? Scrap metal, 2 shield. Ray gun, 4 damage. Broadsword, let's do ray gun. Alright. Ray gun. We will have shield accessible to us anyway. We can now completely load our equipment finally. And we have our Genkus, and who's the boss? Every one of these that's been Audrey so far, or Madison was the other one, the one time it wasn't Audrey. So, I guess I'm just in the loop with these bosses. For every one of the Dicey Dungeons guides, it's been like 3 times Audrey and now 2 times Madison. Okay, now this isn't activated yet because I don't have enough room to steal an equipment yet. So I will drop the 5 here. That gets reused anyway. There. Now I can steal something. Oh, repeat next action. Oh, thanks a lot. Here. I'm going to gain a shield. And 4 damage there. And we'll just drop a counter there. Alright, this is never that hard. Bosses in this game are never that hard as long as you come in pretty well prepared. Okay, she's going to repeat the next action and burn me a couple times. Okay, I'm going to shock her with 6 damage. We're going to... That's great. I'm going to get, yeah, scrap metal here. Okay, what else? Ah, there we are. Max 3, do that plus 1 damage 3 uses. Okay. Well, that isn't really better than anything I'm using, right? This does 4. This will do 4. This will do 7. Okay. And that's the only chance I get to do that. These will both do 4. I'm going to save the focus for next turn. I'm going to save the focus for when I need to roll high. Alright, so she burned me a couple times. Madison's just not that tough. Yeah, focus this time. What do you got? Okay. Guess what? We're going to do 6 damage and shock twice. There. It's 12 damage. 4, 4. We're ridiculously well prepared for this. Five damage. Alright, what is she? 11? Let's wind this up. This will do 6. This will do 4. And she's down to 1 damage left. That'll work. And that is how you get through this game with the Inventor. And now we have Zuko's girlfriend. All that changed from the Fire Nation attack. And they do this joke every single time at the end of every game. That's just phenomenal comic rating. Okay, folks, thanks for joining us. That was the Inventor. Believe it or not, it can be done.